Welcome to This Week in Baseball Player Profiles, as we profile Brendon Green from Northwest High School, Harper Kennedy from Maize South High School, and Grant Ash from Derby. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
How you guys doing today?
Do good.
Don't answer all at once. So basically, we're going to go over some stuff, and we're going to discuss you guys in baseball. Brendon, you're going to Tabor. Harper, you're going to Newman. And Grant, you're going to Neosho. 3 different levels. Congratulations on that. I want to, commend you guys for doing what you did to get ready to go to get committed. Why did you choose the colleges that you're going to? And we'll start with Harper.
I chose Newman because, I had a few people recommend it and say they love Newman, and it's home, and I can stay home if I want. When I visited, I liked it. Thought it had a good atmosphere, and I think it'd just be fun to play baseball there.
Okay, Grant.
We used to hold twins players and be a host family for those players, and a lot of them talked about going JUCO their first 2 years and said it was usually their best 2 years of their career, and I just wanted to experience it like they talked about.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went on my visit to Tabor, I basically already knew everybody there, so it made it kind of easier to get used to that environment, and it really just came down to a better offer as well. So.
Okay. So last year with COVID and high school being cut short, how do you think your teams would have been last year? We'll go with Brendon first.
It would have been a rebuilding year. We had one senior, but he was a catcher because the year before we had lost ours. We definitely been rebuilding because there was a few guys that never seen a pitch in varsity before and were coming up from JV, and so they would have had to fill some roles. But I think we would have been pretty solid. So.
Okay, Grant.
We would have been pretty good. We were going to be pretty junior heavy, but we had Grant Adler, who's at Cali now pitching, but he would have been our ace, and that would have helped a whole lot. But with campus being so strong, it would have still been pretty tough to win league.
Okay. Harper?
Last year we had a lot of depth around everywhere. We had some good freshmen that played my sophomore year, and we had dudes like Tyzik, Jace Meyer. We just had a depth all around. We'd be pretty good.
How do you guys, we'll go with Grant first. How do you think your teams are going to do this year?
We're pretty set high standards this year with how solid all around we'll be with pitching and how much depth we have at pretty much every single position this year, with 75 kids trying out and almost 30 having to be cut this year, which is going to be pretty crazy.
Right. Brendon?
I think it's still going to be the same as last year because, like I said, none of these kids have seen varsity before, and so we're going to have to get them up to that level to be able to play. So.
Okay. Harp?
This year will be pretty good. We got a lot of seniors and a lot of people that have, from my sophomore year, that have a lot of experience, even with the sophomores or juniors and seniors. Everyone's got a lot of experience.
Okay. COVID affected all of us in different ways. And it made the class of 21, I thought was going to be a little difficult to get recruited, but we did a really good job. We have 42 guys commit so far, with a couple more hopefully committing here soon. How did COVID affect you personally, Harper?
COVID affected me. Well, I usually just stayed home, but it worked on myself. I had a home gym. I could get stronger. Also had a tee under my deck, so I could go hit. But other than that, I just tried getting better on my own.
Okay. Grant?
Yeah, I just tried to work on myself personally and build myself up, and also kind of stressed me out with the whole recruiting process, just not really knowing what was next every other day.
Okay. Brendon?
Yeah, it was pretty similar to both of theirs. I just worked out, kept working on my own. I got lucky for a few times because one of my buddies knew a guy that owned a facility, and so since everything else was closed, we were able to head up there quite a bit. And yeah, just worked on my own and played catch when I could. So.
Okay. Now that you guys have moved on, we're going to have a good season this year. What are you doing now to prepare not only for high school but for college? Go with you first, Brendon.
I've been trying to make it to every single 3-on-6 practice that they offer, and I've been taking sharp training to build up some muscle, and also been working out my own on the offside. So.
All right.
Been going with your son every week, doing his workout programs through his program and his philosophy, and I've been going to derby practices and derby yoga, and then 3-on-6 practices every single week. And
Okay. Harper.
Also been trying to go to the 3-on-6 practices during the week, getting stronger. Maize South has weights that I go to, and then other than that, just getting stronger at the gym, developing my body.
Right. When you guys brought up, 3-1-6 with the merger of 3-1-6 and Sluggers, I think it's a great thing. I think we got to put together some really good talent in the area, and I think it's only going to get better. But how did you feel about the merger when it first happened, Harper?
I was confused, did not expect it. Figured there was going to be a lot of players, a lot of teams, and I feel like it'll just boost the competition with all the players in one club, just trying to get better.
All right, Grant?
yeah, I honestly didn't like it at first, just because it took away that rivalry that we always had, but it'll honestly help the program around here extremely, combining everything and bringing everybody together as one.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be a lot of overflow with players and trying to get them all into we had 4 or 18 teams this year. But overall, I think it helps quite a lot because now we have more coaches available and more ideas flowing, and so it just gets us more work.
Okay. You guys, all three, like I said, going to different levels. What are you guys looking to study? Go with Harper first.
Not totally sure. Probably going to biochem. I'm strong with math and science, but not totally sure what I'm going to do with that.
Okay.
And then graphic design.
Graphic design.
And business finance.
Business finance. So with you going JUCO route, where are you looking to go to afterwards if you get an opportunity?
I'm really not sure. Just wherever I could play, but preferably a Division I school.
Okay. So now we're going to switch to a different subject here, now that we got to know some stuff about you guys. What advice do you have for youth players, let's say ages 9 through 14, or getting ready to come into high school?
I'd say start hitting the gym earlier, because I didn't start hitting it until sophomore year, and I could tell I was definitely behind a lot of people. So the sooner you can start lifting weights and the sooner you can start getting stronger and faster, the sooner you'll start keeping up with everybody else and just building your game better.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I'd say the same, because I didn't start working out till junior year, and the fall my senior year I saw a big jump in my abilities, and it shows a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with them. Get in the weight room, and also just try to get to know the older guys as they can help you, and definitely just go hit, go do lessons, do everything.
Okay. So switching it to high school players that are currently playing, juniors, sophomores, that one day want to play varsity, because all three of you guys play in a really good program, and it's not as easy to play on varsity. People got to earn their spots. But what advice could you give those guys to be ready to play varsity sooner rather than later, and getting ready to go into college to be in the same shoes you guys are in?
At Maize South, our baseball team, we really work on grades, keeping our grades up, and then being class acts in the classroom, and then obviously just getting it done on the field. Just try hard, do your best.
Okay. Grant?
I'd say work your tail off and try and outwork the kid in front of you to play ahead of him.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say grades are definitely a big part of you being able to play, because if the coach can't trust you in the classroom, he can't trust you on the field. And just try to outwork the same person that's at your spot every single day, and maybe eventually you'll get it.
Okay. What advice can you guys give to the class of 22, especially now that people know that JUCO's route's got another year of eligibility? What advice could you give to them, Brendon?
I'd say stay patient. obviously the tunnel's a lot smaller now since they're going to get that 5th redshirt year. And get on it as early as possible as well. Start talking to you because you're our recruiting coordinator, and it's really about patience, waiting for stuff to come in. And when the coaches do talk to you, I would give them your full attention and try to set up a visit as soon as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Be patient and don't overthink the whole process, and just trust the process and have a good understanding. And when coaches do talk to you, don't shun them off just because maybe they're not the school you want to go to, but because they are a school and they are interested in you, and just understand what they want and what you want.
Okay. Harp?
I'd also say the same, and also be open to many new schools that you may not think are right for you. And being at 22, you have a lot of time, especially at 2 years to figure it all out. So be open and patient.
Okay. What will people think of you, one word, in high school when you graduate? What is one thing that people are going to think of you as a person, your teachers, your peers? Grant?
Weird.
Why weird?
Just because, I don't know, I kind of stand out. I try to stand out just because I don't want to be like every other kid.
All right, Brendon?
I'd probably say the same thing, probably weird, because I mean I have a different personality than a lot of people would. Yeah. So.
Okay. Harp?
I'm not really sure. Maybe closed, because like in class I'm just to myself. But probably like have to get to know me to like actually get me talked a little bit.
Outside of baseball, sorry about that, what hobbies do you have?
Obviously I do video editing. Like to fish, play basketball, hang out with friends, do a lot of video games, and just go on walks with my dog. So.
And I want to talk to you for a second about your editing that you do, BG Studios. Tell us about that. How that began, and tell us about what you do.
I started like actually calling myself that 2 years ago. That's when my first person that was a paid job for me was Craig Nicholson with CN3 Trading, and he really got it all started for me because I started taking pictures and videos for him, and it was a basketball thing. So it started with him, but my videos started when I was younger. I used to always make these YouTube videos that I completely regret now, but they got me where I'm at, so it's whatever.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go check these YouTube videos out.
I don't know if you want to.
Grant, hobbies?
I play a lot of video games, sometimes too much, but I collect baseball cards, and I play a lot of basketball.
What's your best baseball card you got?
The best card I have?
Yeah.
I have...
Do you just collect baseball only,
I
or
just
different
collect
sports?
baseball cards. I'm still getting into the more expensive ones.
Mm.
I'm still just starting to get
Right.
to learn what.
I have a Kobe Bryant rookie card that's possibly worth 20 grand.
Possibly.
Yeah, I got to go get it
Rated.
rated. It's possibly worth 20 grand because it's the one that people look for. Trust me, I didn't know I had it until I was going through my stuff, because I used to sell cards when I lived in Florida. I used to do my own do shows. And I had so many. My first card I ever sold was Michael Jordan's basketball rookie card.
The big one.
The basketball, yeah, I sold it at the time. It was like $1,800. I got $1,250, $1,300 for it. First card I ever sold, and that got me started. But I have a ton of stuff. Now I'm into autographs more than anything else. What about you, sir?
I like playing or hanging out with my friends, playing Xbox, playing basketball too. Me and my buddies joined the Farha League, play basketball. Don't really like playing for the Maize South, but I'll play with my friends just outside of school.
Yeah, you got Bo on that team.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite Major League Baseball team?
Royals,
Royals, why is that?
just in the state baseball team. Everyone likes them. Grew up liking them.
Okay. Grant?
The Chicago Cubs,
Okay.
because when I was younger, I just liked the animal.
Now trading away everybody.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it's rebuilding, you know.
All right. Have you ever been to Wrigley?
Yeah, I went the last
It's
few years.
awesome.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful place. It's unbelievable.
Historic.
Green?
you're gonna hate me, but Yankees.
No, I don't hate you. I'm a Braves fan. It's all good. Why the Yankees?
I just grew up watching them, and Derek Jeter on the field, Alex Rodriguez, Robinson Cano, Mariano Rivera. I could name a lot of them, but
Right.
I always loved watching them play, and they're just fun to watch.
I mean, you can't buy the World Series. I mean, they try every year, but you can keep trying. Favorite player?
Derek Jeter.
All time.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Like I said, I grew up watching him. I saw him on short, and I saw how he commanded his team and was a leader, and so I kind of looked up to him. So.
I was at the ABCA 2 years ago, or excuse me, last year. One of his ex-head coaches was on the show, and I said this on a previous show to someone, brought up Derek Jeter. They didn't do any drills on the field during spring training more than 8 minutes long because Jeter would get bored. And they would do drill for 8 minutes, switch to something else because he'd get bored.
Yeah.
So I guess when you get that high up, you can make those decisions. Right?
Probably just DeGrom, just because he's the best of the best, and it's always a good outing for him when he's on the mound.
Okay.
I've always liked Mike Trout. No reason, just like to see him play.
He's unbelievable. He's one of the best ever to do it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. This is going to be a good one. Your favorite food?
I think it depends on the day or
Is
when.
it Taco Tuesday? Or
I don't know. I had king crab once, and I was blown away by it.
It's good.
I
It's
think
really
that's
good.
my favorite.
There you go, Grant.
I like chicken. I'd eat anything chicken, grilled, crispy, anything.
Okay. Brendon?
I'd say definitely steak. It's something I don't have often, but when I do have it, it's definitely worth it. So.
Okay. So last question here. So you guys brought up a lot of good points throughout the show already, gave a lot of good advice. But is there something that you might have missed that you want to get out now, give out some more advice to the players that are watching and people that are watching this show? Start with you, Brendon.
I'd say if you're like a freshman or sophomore, one thing I would do is be patient, because if there's a senior or a junior ahead of you, they're going to play over you because they're obviously older, and so you get that older privilege. But you'll once again be in that spot once you get older. So instead of complaining about what position you're in or what situation you're given, just roll with it and try to become better. And so once you actually get to that level, you're ready for it.
Okay. Grant?
I'd say do what makes you happy, because if you don't enjoy what you're doing or you don't enjoy what situation you're in, you should definitely switch, change it up, and do what makes you happy as a person.
Okay. Harper?
I'd say for the younger dudes, like starting out high school, make sure you get the grades done first, because those grades will matter when you're older for the GPA, getting offers, and how much money you get.
Okay. Well, you brought up a good point there to end the segment, getting grades. First of all, again, I want to thank you guys for coming in. It's my pleasure to have you guys around. I enjoy it. Grant, I know I've coached you for the last few years, but I've seen you two play. I've seen you guys develop into great young men. And it's been a pleasure of mine to see that. And I hope you continue to follow your dreams, you get everything that you want, and get your goals hit, and continue to become a good young man. That's what's most important out of all of this, okay? And become good role models. So I do appreciate that. Thank you very much, okay? That concludes this week in Baseball Player Profiles. I want to thank 316 Baseball for hosting today's show. I want to thank DG Studios for being the producer of today's show. Have a nice day.